Welcome to Season 2 of Red Sox Digest, the only show where pain, sarcasm, and false hope collide nightly, like a Masataka Yoshida ground out to second. We break down every loss, every meltdown, and the occasional win, with sarcasm, facts, and no front office spin. Subscribe today at RedSoxDigest.com, or keep wondering how a wildcard team spent an entire offseason avoiding power hitters. And now, here's the crew at Red Sox Digest.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Red Sox Digest. I am your host tonight, Jim Delfino, and yes, I am still here, still watching this baseball team, still pretending this is a podcast and not a weekly wellness check from people who should have been up taking bird watching instead. The Red Sox are face down in the AL East like they slipped on a hot dog wrapper in the Fenway Concourse, and somehow I'm the idiot hosting a show about it like this is a community service ordered by a very cruel judge. This team doesn't lose normally. They lose like they're trying to teach fans a lesson about emotional dependency. Friday night, they accidentally looked competent. Saturday, they remembered who they were. Today, they took a tied game into extra innings and handled it like a toddler carrying a wedding cake down a staircase. Joining me tonight is Nick Face, a man whose relationship with this team has officially entered hostage negotiation territory. Nick doesn't watch Red Sox baseball anymore. He monitors it for signs of life. Every night he sits there with that dead-eyed stare like a guy waiting for the toaster to explain why it burned his house down. And joining us tonight is John Martinello, co-host, writer, play-by-play guy, camera operator, and the only man alive who can tweet, "I like it when my favorite team wins," and have it sound like a desperate cry from a bunker. John is out here analyzing quality of contact and player development while the Major League Club is treating situational hitting like witchcraft. And finally joining us tonight is Thayer Doyle, educator, family man, fundamentals guy, which means watching this team must feel like grading a test where every answer is written in crayon and one kid ate the paper. Thayer believes in smart baseball, clean execution, and doing the little things right. So naturally, this Red Sox team is basically his personal Saw movie. Let's get into it. Your Boston Red Sox are now 13-21 on the season and a full 10 games out of first place. This series started Friday, May 1st, game number 32, and the Red Sox won 3-1. Jarren Duran hit a 3-run home run in the third inning. Jake Bennett gave them a real start, and the bullpen held. Aroldis Chapman closed it, and for one brief stupid moment, we thought, hey, maybe something's happening. No, nothing was happening. That was the free sample at Costco before they sell you a 50-pound bag of sadness. Saturday, the Astros beat the Red Sox 6-3. Houston was up 6-0 before the Red Sox offense finally rolled out of bed, put one sock on, and asked if the game had started. Bryce Matthews hit a 3-run home run. Christian Walker added with one solo shot of his own. Boston waited until the building was already on fire before showing up with a squirt gun. They made it 6-3, loaded the bases in the seventh, and then Ceddanne Rafaela struck out looking. Bases loaded, rally forming, crowd alive, and then nothing. Just a called third strike on the sound of 35,000 people realizing they'd just been conned once again. Then came today's nonsense, and the Red Sox lost 3-1 in 10 innings. Ranger Suarez gave them a chance. Duran homered again. The game was tied 1-1 going into extras. This was right there, sitting on a tee, a winnable game, a series they could steal. So naturally, what did they do? They threw it in the wood chipper. In the 10th, Sack Smelly gets into trouble. Cam Smith punches a 2-run single to left. Houston goes up 3-1, and now the Red Sox need to answer. Bottom of the 10th, they get the ghost runner, they get traffic, they load the bases, and for about 4 seconds, your brain does that stupid thing where you believe in them once again. Then Rafaela grounds into a double play to end it. Perfect, beautiful Red Sox poetry. Bases loaded, game on the line, and the ending has all the grace of a man slipping on ice while holding soup. So the Red Sox win Friday, lose Saturday, lose today, drop another series at home, fall to 13-21, and somehow manage to make a 3-1 baseball game feel like you got audited. This team isn't just bad. Bad teams lose. Fine. That's sports. It happens. Sometimes the other team just beats you. But the Red Sox? No. The Red Sox don't get beaten. They accidentally step on a rake, spin into a trash can, knock over a hot dog cart, apologize to the hot dogs, then ground into a double play with the bases loaded while Dave O'Brien tries to explain launch angle like we're not all watching a man fall down an escalator. They score 7 total runs in 3 games. 7 at Fenway against the Astros, a last place team. That's not an offense. That's a snack pack. That's what a real baseball team scores during batting practice while half the lineup is still trying to tie their shoelaces. 7 runs in 3 baseball games is the equivalent of showing up to a potluck with 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers and saying, "I brought dinner." That's not a cold offense. That's a missing persons report. Put their bats on a damn milk carton. Have Wally walk around Lansdowne Street asking, "Have you seen these guys?" Because apparently the lineup entered witness protection after Friday night. And then the double plays. My God, the double plays. The Red Sox grounded into 6 double plays in this series. 6. That's not a stat. That's a cry for help. 6 double plays is what happens when your offense is built by a guy who lost a bet in a bowling alley. And yet, here we still are. That's the embarrassing part, folks. Not them, us. We keep showing up like idiots with scorecards and emotional damage, waiting for this team to stop punching itself in the face with a batting helmet. They don't just lose, they make sure you believe first. That's not baseball. That's a Three Stooges episode with season tickets. I've said enough. It's time for the word of the day.
And now it's time for Nick Face's Word of the Day!
Well, unmute myself. Cesspool. That is the word of today. That is exactly what this team is. A cesspool of raw sewage, basically. I'm gonna go that deep on this one. Raw sewage. That's what this is. It is that odorific over at Fenway Park right now. I think you all know how I love comparisons. I like to break things down. Sometimes I look at players from past, or I look at maybe other teams from the past in a way and kind of break it down and give you some sort of talking point. And tonight's talking point comes from the 2012 team. I did a little research, guys, because as we know, the 2012 team was a disaster. It had Bobby Valentine as the manager. It had some veteran players, but they didn't buy in, obviously, to Bobby after Tito Francona was terminated and removed. It had a lot of injuries, though. David Ortiz got hurt. Dustin Pedroia was out. Kevin Youkilis ended up being traded. It was not a very good year. They did finish that season with a 69-93 record. I wanted to take a look at what that team did, at least in the early beginnings of 2012, and then look at what this current team is doing right now. So right now, the Red Sox stand at a whopping 13-21. I'm not repeating that because I don't want to repeat that. So if you want to hear it again, you're going to have to redial. I'm not redialing that for you. The 2012 Red Sox, up until May 3rd of 2012, were 11-13. They finished May a game over 500, and they happened to be 26-25. That's what they ended up the end of May with. I am going to go out on a limb here, guys, and say that this is going to be worse than the 2012 Red Sox. I don't think that we are going to crack 70 wins here this season. I don't. Not the way this is going right now. You saw Ranger Suarez depart this start, and I guess they said it was some sort of hammy issue that was going on. Well, last season, he had the same sort of hamstring issue, resulted in a 3-week stint on the IL. Is it really the hammy, or did he just have to go poo-poo? We'll see. I think it was poo-poo, but that's just me. You don't have much depth anymore. You had Jake Bennett on Friday night. I guess we can give him somewhat of props. But again, this is the Houston Astros. This team is not good. And the Red Sox, they suck. So I don't know how much stock we want to put into Jake Bennett right there. I give him credit. Got it out 5 innings. I was happy that our manager ended up giving him 5. I was kind of sweating it a little bit, saying, please let him go. Allow him to have the chance to get something there. And he did. So that's great. But I think the big story came out tonight, and it came out post-game after some conversations that were with Chris Cotillo and some other members of the media. There's a lot of turmoil on this team right now, guys. You have vets versus rookies. Wilson Contreras had something to say about slumps and how some of these young guys don't really know what a slump is, and they don't really know how to get out of it and everything. Marcelo Meyer fired back and said, well, I take exception to that. I'm different. I can get out of this. I'm fine. I'll give Marcelo Meyer a little bit of credit. Past couple weeks, he's been a much improved player. And I think we're starting to see some glimpse of maybe him baby steps into becoming a true major leaguer. But all in all, I think right now we're in a really difficult situation with a lot of nonsense going on behind the scenes. And then yesterday, post-game, you had some words with Trevor Story and Ceddanne Rafaela regarding a tag that Ceddanne Rafaela didn't think that Trevor Story was in the right spot and put a tag on one of the Astros runners that was going into second base. So there's some definite beef going on in that clubhouse where I think it's at the point of being a huge distraction, and it's definitely getting in the way of any sort of camaraderie that this team may have. And another interesting point from Wilson Contreras post-game, he did say that he sensed that there was a sigh of relief after Alex Cora was fired and the rest of the team. And he was asked why. And he said it was because I don't think the pressure is on a lot of these guys anymore because Cora really had them by the balls. And now this team doesn't. This is a 3-ring circus is what this is right now. And like I said, Chad Tracy is a babysitter. That's what this is. It is a babysitting job right now. And I think he's going to get fired from his babysitting position or end up back in Worcester because these guys, it's nothing but amateur hour up here right now. I don't know how we're going to survive this, guys, going through the whole entire season, but this is an absolute mess right now. And I think it could actually be worse than the 2012 team. I really do. I'm going to state that right here. I think this is going to be even worse, and I don't know how you're going to get yourself out of this. Craig Breslow, work the phones. Everybody's available. I don't give a crap. Actually, you know what? I might want to hold that because he'll deal things for pennies on the dollar, and we'll get nothing in return, and then trade those people away, and then they'll go off and have great careers, a.k.a. Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, who's looking really good right now.
Of course he is.
You know, leave it to the Red Sox to completely bonehead another trade, you know, and it's so funny because I mentioned this on Twitter, I don't know, maybe like right after the trade was done or about a week afterwards. And I had some yuts say to me, yeah, but he was going to be like the number 9 starter and probably never even see the major leagues. Well, hot shot. Let me give you some news advice right now. You got Connolly early. You've got Peyton Tolley. You're bringing up Jake Bennett and the guy from Section 3 who cleans everybody's shoes that's starting pitching at this point. So I have a feeling that Kyle Harrison probably would have gotten a start. But what do I know? Nick's word of the day is brought to you by Rally Be Gone. Do you suffer from dangerous optimism when the Red Sox get runners on base? Do you lean forward in your chair when they load the bases? Do you accidentally say things like this could be the inning? Then you need Rally Be Gone, the official spray for Red Sox fans who still haven't learned. One quick spray, and you'll remember this team grounded into 6 double plays in 3 games and treated momentum like it owned them child support. Rally be gone, because hope is how they get you. I'm going to turn it over now to the Martinello Minute.
And now, the part they don't want said out loud. No spreadsheets or corporate spin, just the truth, raw and impatient. This is the Martinello Minute.
Typically, in this the minute that I get, I break down how the series went, all that good stuff. But tonight I'm just going to touch up on a couple of things. First off, I've actually got some positivity. When the Sox played the Astros in Houston earlier, or I guess last month now, he went 6 for 11 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs, and was really the difference in that series. Andrew Bailey took notes, and credit to him for making an adjustment, and pat on the shoulder to the staff for executing his game plan. Jordan went 1 for 13 over this 3-game set, and so I got to congratulate the Red Sox for not losing this series to Jordan Alvarez. Jarren Duran's another bright spot in this series. He looks comfortable in the leadoff spot. 4 for 13 in the series, 2 homers, and his that first homer that he hit in the first game was the difference in that lone win. Roman Anthony looks like he's starting to turn a corner, both offensively and defensively. 5 for 12 in the series, 2 doubles. Just missed a homer today, and all of a sudden, guys, he's 95th percentile in arm value according to Baseball Savant. Wilson Contreras, another one, still scorching hot, 5 for 11 in the series with the double, and he actually had a stolen base today. That was really cool. So I guess you hear all that stuff and you think that the Red Sox were moving runners around all weekend, scoring runs, it was the pitching that let us down. Sure, Connolly early had his first real bad start of his career, but this offense, again, we talk about it every single episode, it feels like. They get guys on base in the Connolly early start. Yet the Red Sox got walked 7 times, and they left 10 guys on base in a 6-3 loss. Today, same sorry-ass story. And ironically, Trevor Story didn't even play today. Ranger Suarez looked great. Then he pulls himself out of the game after 4 shutout innings. Does he have a hamstring issue, or did he just have diarrhea? Nobody knows, evidently, but as we mentioned in our last show, there's nothing, and Nick mentioned it a couple minutes ago, there's nothing left in Worcester to come and help us out. So that's not good if Ranger is going to end up on the IL. In this series, the Red Sox hit 107 with a 492 OPS. They scored 7 runs in 28 innings. 4 of those runs were on 2 swings. And again, in 28 innings, they left 29 runners on base. Today, they let a guy named Bubla shove it up their ass. So that's where the Red Sox offense is at right now.
Suarez got some Bubla too.
Yeah. Yes.
He needs a plug.
Oh man. Listen, the Astros begged you to sweep them in this series, and instead the Red Sox hand them over 2 out of 3. To finish my thought, after, as Nick pointed to with the comments after the game today, we thought the drama was over, and now we have a clubhouse in turmoil. Everybody, we're blaming each other for their lack of effort and why we can't score runs. Guys, it's a shit show. We, saying words we've said already. It's a shit show. We have an awful roster that Boobla. We have an awful roster that has no leaders.
You just can't.
Oh man. Boobla shoved it. What is it? He had like 50 pitches, 4 innings, no runs. Good job. Listen, it's a roster with no leaders. Nobody has any accountability. And now all of a sudden, after all the firings, after the fire sale of coaches, now we got guys that are just looking for excuses as to why they stink. So I'm sure you could tell that we're having a lot of fun over here watching these guys every day.
Oh, I'm laughing because you can only laugh right now to get yourself through it.
You know what they do now? Most dentist offices, they don't give you laughing gas anymore. They play Red Sox games from 2026.
It's Soxen too.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd rather watch Dining Playbook. The Martinello Minute is brought to you by the Boston Red Sox dish detergent. For when your lineup leaves behind a sink full of filthy at-bats, greasy double plays, and dried on bases loaded failure, just add one pod and watch it cut through 4 runs in 19 innings, remove stubborn rally residue, and leave every inning sparkling empty. Tough on
And
offense,
Rangers streaks.
gentle on accountability. Boston Red Sox dish detergent, because someone has to clean up this plate discipline.
And Rangers diarrhea.
But a boom. Time for the third strike. Ike.
And now it's time for the third strike with Thayer.
So as I was getting ready to think about what I wanted to say, all the things you've all been doing is tying perfectly in. Jim, you mentioned Family Man at the beginning of this. Nick, all you keep talking about is poo-poo and diarrhea. I figured out how to handle the Red Sox. The Red Sox are a team of children. And as anyone who is a parent knows, and for all of you prospective parents out there, especially with Mother's Day coming up, you all understand, and you should know, that especially when kids are infants and toddlers, the number one lesson in parenting is when your kids are sleeping, you sleep. So today, when the Red Sox offense was taking a nap, I took a nap. That's how I handled this whole game. I slept through it. Listening to a little bit, listening to the key to it is you got to have Nesson on. Talking, because he's sort of so monotone. If you try to put it on the WEEI, and whether you have Fleming or whoever it is, they sort of get too excited over simple things. Like a pop-up to shortstop suddenly sounds like it's Sterling talking about a ball going over the monster. So you can't listen to them. You have to listen to Nesson. It's nice and calm and easy. You can get a good nap in. And that's sort of what's going on. This team takes a nap offensively the minute the lights go on. It's incredible. We've talked about teams being like, 5 o'clock hitters during batting practice, and then 7 o'clock the game shows up. They don't show up. I don't even know if this is a 5 o'clock team. They're sort of sundowning and taking naps. So what John was talking about today, you lose the game 3-1. Your top 2 hitters were on base 6 out of 10 times. 6 out of 10 times. One of them was a home run, and they didn't score any runs other than the time Duran drove himself in. That's incredible. From a pitching standpoint, for the most part, they've been doing all right. But, as Breslow said, we're going to create a team of pitching and defense. Well, your number 1 starter's on the DL. Your number 2 starter may be going on the DL. Your number 3 starter's on the DL. And your 4th and 5th starters right now are 2 kids who you thought were going to be pieces coming up from Worcester, because I don't know what you want to call Bayo. He's now going into the bullpen to have someone open for him because he can't do anything but give up runs. And the guy you traded for Oviedo, he's hurt from the get-go. So I watching this game today, what I did see when I woke up in time for extra innings, I gotta say, I am so pissed at Cora. He clearly didn't teach these guys how to play baseball, right? It was absolutely his fault. You have a pitcher that can't throw strikes, a pitcher that can't throw the ball. He throws it backwards. It was absolutely all Cora's fault. And I'm so glad we got rid of him and now have a group of individuals who can handle these children that are playing for us.
So the third strike with Thayer is brought to you by Extra Innings Ghost Runner Pepper Spray. Do you panic when the Red Sox enter extra innings? Do you feel your chest tighten when the Ghost Runner appears? Do you already know they're about to turn a winnable game into a slapstick kitchen fire? Then grab a bottle of Extra Innings Ghost Runner Pepper Spray. Just one blast to the face, and you won't have to watch the bottom of the 10th where Boston loads the bases and then ends the game with a double play so ugly it should be reported to the health department. Extra Innings Ghost Runner Pepper Spray, because sometimes blindness is mercy. We have a little poll. I don't know if it'll be there if I take it and hide it, but John has it on there. How many wins will this team end up with? Number 1 is 60 to 70. Number 2 is 70 to 80. Number 3 is 81 plus. And if you don't answer, that means you believe less than 60. So that's the category I'm in right now. Going to go on to some talking points. And talking point number 1 is going to probably be the elephant in the room, and that's Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez's hamstring and the rotation turning into a medical drama. Ranger Suarez was actually dealing today 4 scoreless innings, only 70 pitches, and then boom, hamstring tightness or constipation. Because apparently the Red Sox rotation is now less of a pitching staff and more of a triage tent with stirrups. Crochet is already on the IL with shoulder inflammation. Sonny Gray is on the IL too, though reportedly expected back Wednesday. Cutter Crawford and Patrick Sandoval still aren't close. Brian Bayo's ERA is sitting north of 9, and now Suarez grabs the hamstring like the baseball gods personally walked over and kicked Boston in the shin. This isn't a rotation anymore. This is musical chairs, except every chair is broken and Brian Bayo is holding a gas can. At what point does this stop being bad luck and start becoming, hey, maybe this whole thing was built with wet cardboard and Craigslist optimism? Nick, I'll start with you.
I mean, sometimes when you really have to go, you really have to squeeze in, guys. You just do. And sometimes it just doesn't work. And sometimes you have to exit stage right and run away.
Exit stage
so
right even.
So you don't get any streakage problems. I mean, kind of based on Thayer's point that he said earlier with the infants, I think he needed a diaper change. I do. I really do. I don't think this is a hamstring issue, guys. And I'm being dead honest here when I say this. He had to go to the bathroom. That's what this was. It's embarrassing. Literally and figuratively. But that's, you got to go. When you got to go, you got to go. He's not missing much. I mean, it's not like he's gonna do anything to make this team do anything else. So I guess you just chalk it up to Tums.
John, how about yourself? What are you thinking about this rotation at this point?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've said it enough. There's nothing coming. Brian Bayo's going to make his next start. Whether there's an opener that goes in front of him or not, he's going to have the bulk of the workload, or at least that's what the plan is. You got Jake Bennett, Connor Early, Peyton Tolley, all guys that, at least 2 of them started the year in AAA. I guess the plan before Oviedo's all of his arm stuff was that all 3 of those guys were going to start the year in AAA. So you have 3 minor leaguers up here right now. And, as far as Ranger goes, what is it? This says he experienced something similar last April, but he didn't miss any time. So again, like to Nick's point, could it have been something as simple as that he just had to go to the bathroom? I don't know. Maybe, granted, like if this, if you believe that the offense was going to stay out on the field for more than 30 seconds, maybe he doesn't come out of the game at all. Like, who knows? But yeah, I mean, they can't sustain another guy going to the IL at this point. So I really hope the guy just had some nasty diarrhea.
Too many Anna's taquerias last night.
Too many Modelo's.
Yeah, too many.
Taco Bell, you got to watch it.
Watch those beans.
Thayer, your thoughts on the rotation and where we're at?
Rotation has been pitching relatively well when they're capable of doing it. However, I think Tolley kind of did what we expected him to do. He pitched great in his opener at home, and then his second game around, kind of flamed out. He's supposed to pitch against Skubal. We'll see how that goes. Can he stand up to that pressure? Who knows? I doubt it. And then, Early's fine, but he's young. Bennett, again, he had his major league debut. Let's see how he does the second time around. Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem to matter. These guys aren't going to go 7-8 innings. They're going to falter. They're going to come out in the 5th or 6th inning. And then you have the Weiserts and the Zach Kellys and the Morans and those guys. And really it doesn't matter how good the starting pitching is because they're not going to throw shutouts every night, and this team can't score runs. So, even if those guys are pitching well, you're dealing with the issue of pitching with incredible pressure on themselves to be perfect. And that's just too difficult to do to kids.
Nick. I thought you'd appreciate that.
I was looking at the Red Sox upcoming schedule. Sorry. I guess I'll go back to looking at that. That looks a little bit more. Well, I don't know what's more unsettling, that or that.
Exactly. Next talking point that we're going to talk about is Masataka Yoshida. Speaking about Shida, sitting while the offense looks like it needs CPR. So Yoshida sat again on Saturday, reporting the 5th time in 6 games since Chad Tracy took over, while the Red Sox offense spent the weekend producing like a vending machine that only accepts Canadian nickels. And look, Yoshida isn't Babe Ruth reincarnated with better hair product, but when your team is scoring 7 runs in 3 games, 4 runs over the final 19, and going 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position on Sunday, maybe, just maybe, you find at-bats for a guy whose actual job description includes professional hitter. Instead, the Red Sox are treating Yoshida like he's a decorative throw pillow. He's just sitting there, available, expensive, slightly confused, and apparently not matching the room. My question is here, what exactly is the plan? Are they saving Yoshida for a future game, a trade deadline miracle, or the next time the offense needs someone to hold a bat without looking like they're defusing a bomb? Thayer, I'll start with you.
You're asking me what the Red Sox plan is?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think the Red Sox know what their plan is. They haven't known what their plan is.
That's why I'm asking you.
They haven't known what their plan is since like the 2020 season. I have no idea, nor do I really care from the standpoint that Yoshida is not a difference maker. Right? He's just not. This team, as we've all sort of discussed, is going nowhere this year. They are not a playoff team. They've brought up their minor league managers to manage their minor league baseball players. So really the only thing this year is going to turn into is can the kids, can Mayer, can Rafaela, can Anthony, can Tolley and Early, and maybe this Bennett kid become anything worthwhile? And throw Abreu in there and Narvaez. That's what you're looking at. What did I just name? 7 kids, 8 people on this team who are basically in their first or second full professional season of Major League Baseball. And this was a team that had quote unquote playoff aspirations. I'm sorry, that's not the case. So what Breslow needs to do is decide how he wants to go out, because he's going out. Because with the Celtics done, with the Bruins done, with the Patriots dealing with a scandal with their coach, all of the eyes of Red Sox Nation in Boston are now on the Red Sox. There's no more buffers. So here we go. What do you want to do? Do you want these kids to play? If you want the kids to play, they got to play, which means Anthony has to play, which means Rafaela has to play, and Abreu has to play. Who cares if Masataka Yoshida plays? I don't think he's we joked a little bit about it today. The only thing that guy's good at is the short game in golf, because everything he hits is a little lob down the left field line, a lob down the right field line. He doesn't hit anything with authority. So really, this offense is not something that he can sustain, so who cares? So, Breslow, what do you want to do? Do you want to turn this into a building year for your kids, or are you interested in trying to save your job by selling people off? And to Nick's point, he's going to trade away Chapman. He'll probably trade away Contreras. And you know what he's going to get? The 4 of us.
Yeah. Here's the
We're
problem.
more valuable than some of these players on the roster.
You know what the problem with the Red Sox pitching rotation is? None of them can hit. That's the issue, because all these guys, it doesn't matter what kind of start and who's going to be on the mound. If they can't hit, they're not scoring runs and they're not going to win games. And that's been the problem since the beginning of this season. And that hasn't improved. That hasn't gotten better. So you want to shit all over the starting rotation. That's fine. well deserved, but at the end of the day, they can't score, they're not going to win. And that's the problem with how this is going. John, really quick with you. Yoshida, do you care?
No, and I really think that Thayer nailed it. Chad Tracy, since he's gotten the job here, has not started Yoshida. Maybe did he start him once? Maybe
Once.
yeah. I think it's pretty clear what the MO is here. I think that Alex Cora wanted a revolving door, wanting everybody to get playing time like it's a fucking little league team. And now whether this is coming from Breslow or it's Tracy's decision on it's his own decision, he sees that the Red Sox have 4 outfielders, and those 4 outfielders are going to play every day, and he has a left-handed hitter that can get on base on his bench. And I think it's as simple as that. Yoshida's going to come in late in games when they need a left-handed bat, and Yoshida's going to perform the way that he does. He's going to put the ball in play, and maybe he gets on, maybe he doesn't. Today he got on base, and then IKF came in to pitch run for him. That's the version of Yoshida we're going to get from, unless somebody goes down on the IL.
Nick, really quickly, your thoughts on Yoshida, and do you even care?
I care a little just about playing your best team. Your best team, if you actually give a crap, does have Yoshida's bat in the lineup. How do you put that there? Well, that's by putting Marcelo Meyer over to third or short, depending upon if you want to bench Trevor Story. Rafael is at second base. You go left field with Roman Anthony or Yoshida, Duran in center, and Wilyer Abreu in right. That gets Durbin out of our face too, guys. I can't take it anymore with Durbin. I just can't. I think Durbin's worse than Yoshida, so that's the only reason why I'm saying I actually give a little bit of a crap, because we're not playing our best team. We're just not. I think that's what you do if you actually want to have a pulse, but they don't. They don't. So that's the only take that I have right there. The Red Sox aren't going to do it because heaven forbid they want to listen to any of us here or myself. But I'm just telling you how I would manage this with the roster that was given. I don't care that Rafaela is just simply dazzling in center field. I think it's a little bit overrated, to tell you the truth. I move him in. Sorry, this is what we have on our roster. I'm going to play the best guys that I have, assemble my roster, put my team out there, and get it done. I at least know Yoshida's at least going to give me contact. Like, that's one thing that drives me absolutely berserk, is the amount of whiffs we have in this team. I jokingly say Trevor Story is the whiff queen. Well, we have princesses and kings as well, swinging out of their asses, who have no chance in hell of making contact with a baseball. So that's how I feel on the matter. It's not going to change because this is who the roster is, and this is what Breslow wants. I don't think this has anything to do with Chad Tracy. He's getting the lineup card from the nerds and Breslow every friggin' day. That's just how it is. It's what's going on. He's a little puppet right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll do whatever you say, sir. That's it.
Well, you bring up a good point about Yoshida and putting the best guys that could possibly either put the bat on the ball or, win you a game or try to get the best offensive lineup you can, even though it's not a good lineup. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care about Yoshida either, but I also wonder if it should be where he gets some at-bats to see if there's possibility that they could move him. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to move him for anything good, but, if he doesn't have a place here in the future of this team, then they've got to do something with him. If they're not going to DFA him, if they want to eat some of that money and try to move him, at least show that he can hit, and maybe you can get something for him at the deadline. The guy is batting .280 right now. The biggest issue I have right now is Caleb Durbin. I mean, we're in this for 34 games now. At what point do they turn and say, this is not working? I mean, his defense has been fine, but can we bring Nick Sogard up? I mean, that guy probably could get a hit. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Durbin is batting 165 on the season. Yeah, he's got a home run, but it was off a freaking position player. I mean, it's absolutely insane how this is going. I don't know, 16 strikeouts, 18 hits. I just don't know, when do you really say you got to pull the plug on someone like this?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, of course it is, but it's like it doesn't seem like it's going to change. So you're just going to watch this nonsense for the rest of the season, and that's just the way it's going to go.
Yep.
So we'll see how that continues up. I just looking at. I think we'll move over and go to pitching probables. Let's do that next.
Should we get the bucket out?
Yeah. So pitching probables. I don't know where my scene went, but that's okay. Let me just get this on here. We'll get it like that. Pitching probables. All right. So having a little technical difficulties. So we're looking at the possibility of Monday, which is tomorrow. The Red Sox will be in Detroit. And the game is a 6:40 start. Right now is Tolley against Tarek Skubal. On Tuesday, May 5th, it's a 6:40 p.m. start. Brian Bayo against Framber Valdez. I'll comment on that in a minute. And then on Wednesday at 6:40 is going to be announced for the Red Sox. It could be Sonny Gray against Jack Flaherty. So as it relates to this 3-game series, the one thing that has come out just recently is that the Red Sox may consider a Bayo opener. And
I like that.
we may consider a Bayo opener for that game. So we'll see how that goes. But Nick, I'll start with you. What's your predictions for the 3-game series?
Detroit will sweep the Red Sox. All 3. They're going to get their ass handed to them. I don't even think you should even play the first 2. Just forfeit. I mean, they got a better chance at forfeiting than playing. And then Flaherty, again, if it's Sonny Gray, that's a huge question to see what Sonny Gray is going to come back to. The whole moral of the story here is, truthfully, it doesn't really matter who starts, who pitches, none of it. Because we can't hit. You want to see this team hit Tarek Skubal? He ought to get 20 plus strikeouts tomorrow night and break a record. That's how this team is. So I think Detroit is just going to sweep them right into Tampa Bay, which will be next week or on Friday.
I don't think we play Tampa this year. We just play teams from the Central for the rest of the way out.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
That's how the Red Sox would love. Yeah, Tampa's
well, you know what? Remember last year, if they were in the AL Central, they would have been qualified for the whatever Micah was saying for the whole season. Thayer, your thoughts on the predictions for this Detroit series?
I agree with Nick. I think it's going to be a Tiger sweep. I think with the lefties pitching the first 2 games, you're going to see that wonderful right-handed lineup, and I don't think they have a chance. And then Flaherty's going game 3. It'll probably be Gray coming back, but who knows what's going to happen out of that. Chances are what's unfortunately going to happen is you're probably going to see, at least in the Tolley game, I think Tolley will probably keep it relatively close with Skubal, and you're going to have to use your better bullpen arms. The opener will probably get through an inning or 2, and then Bayo will have it blown out. But the problem with that then is you're going to have to use the rest of your bullpen arms to finish off that game. So by the time we get to the Sonny Gray game, who's been out for 2 or 3 starts, he's going to give you 5 innings at best. And then that bullpen's going to come in, and you're going to see Zach Kelly and Weissert and those guys probably on short rest get blasted. So they're going to get swept.
You know, it's really interesting how the Red Sox went out and got 3 starting pitchers for their rotation this offseason, claiming that they were a World Series running team. And I said this before, a team that has World Series aspirations doesn't go and get 3/5 of their starting rotation. But in addition to that, they had 2 young guys in the minor leagues, Peyton Tolley and Connolly Early, who were up and coming. They also traded for Jake Bennett. And here we are in the first week of May, and we need an opener. A Brian Bayo opener, which, by the way, if anybody would like to have this as a commemorative, I may put it on the Red Sox Digest store. You can open bottles or just open up a can of whoop ass on someone. John, I think you're last. What do you? What's your predictions for this series? And would you like a Brian Bayo opener?
I would like a Brian Bayo opener. But as far as the series goes, I'm gonna go 1 out of 3, and just I'm gonna pick the last one as the winner, whether that's Sonny Gray or somebody else. But the first 2 games, you're not beating Scooble tomorrow. You don't have Alex Bregman to come save the day and go 4 for 5 off of him. Game 2, Valdez is pitching. Shoved it up your ass 2 weeks ago at Fenway Park. Who's anyone to say that he's not going to do the same thing in Detroit? And again, you're going to get Brian Bayo in that game. And what the guys are hitting, I think it's around like 378 in general. People are hitting off Bayo this year. So not looking forward to either of those two. But I think just the fact that there is nobody confirmed on the Red Sox side yet for Game 3 against Jack Flaherty. Like, it's going to be Sonny Gray or whoever the hell else. Just the fact that there's no name there.
How about Nate Eaton?
Honestly, yeah. Nate, listen, he throws a firm 92-mile-an-hour sinker. I'd give him a shot. Yeah, IKF.
He's coming.
Listen, we might be seeing IKF on a Tuesday, so he might not be available.
Well, nobody said with the opener for Bayo, it's just open to get the long relief.
Yeah, well, we don't have Bernardino anymore to open for us, so
it might be bastard.
IKF then. But yeah, I mean, really, I think that the fact that there's no name there for that third game just eases my mind a little bit. But yeah, so 1 out of 3.
So my question is, and I don't expect an answer, but just for the people that are watching and at home, if Brian Bayo needs an opener, why not just open the game with Brian Bayo and just have him start? And as soon as he gets into trouble, take him out. Whether it's 2 innings, 1 inning, or whatever, why not he just be his own opener and then go right into the bullpen? Nick, go ahead.
Because they think he's going to be Nick Pivetta. Remember when they did that same thing with Pivetta?
Of course.
The stupidity?
Yeah.
That's what they think. Oh, well, we're going to catch lightning in a bottle, and we're going to do the same bullshit that we did for Pivetta, and then he's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
It worked decently for Pivetta. So
shut up.
That's the only it worked all right with him.
You know what? It worked, but there was no thinking that was going to work. That's the thing. But this team is so stupid that they think, like Nick said, that they think it's going to happen once again. Really quick,
you're going to get into the 5th inning of that game, and you're going to be on your third pitcher. Like Bayo's not getting into the third or into the 6th.
Yeah.
Into the 2nd.
So quickly, it's time for piece of take. My take is really just a question, and I'll ask you guys 30 seconds. Thayer, I'll start with you. Question is, who's the first guy traded off the Red Sox this year?
Chapman.
John?
Duran.
Nick?
Chapman. I'm with Thayer. He is the most talented player on that roster right now that could lengthen out a bullpen if they're making a run in the postseason. 1,000%.
Just to interject, I forgot to give my take on the 3-game series. I also think Detroit's going to sweep as well. There's no way that they're going to win even 1 game. So it's just ridiculous. So consider a sweep. Yeah. So piece of take. I agree with Chapman. You know what? I was thinking about this today. Who is your? Here's the next question. Who is the same answer? I think. Who is your All-Star representative this year? Fair.
Alex Cora.
That's good. That. John, who is your All-Star representative this season?
Yeah, outside of Chapman, I don't think that there is anyone else. It's got to be Chapman. And then if he's
Nick?
not on the team, who the hell do
Nick?
you give it to?
Nick?
Ranger Suarez with the diarrhea coming out of his butt.
So listen, all right. I'll do it one more time. No, it's not coming.
What an all-star game that would be. Streaks and all.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, it really would not shock me if the Red Sox only all-star representative is going to be Chapman, and he could be traded. Especially if they continue this path, they're going to trade him and they're going to get something for him. Because I mean, are they going to bring him back next year at 39? I don't know. He likes it here, but I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. But I find it very interesting, and I don't know if there's ever been a time that a team has had an all-star representative and only had one all-star representative who was then traded that July and then had no all-star representation. Not that it matters after the fact, but you get my point. Has anybody ever
sure
had
there's been someone somewhere?
I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't know.
There's plenty of those, like the Royals and such like that for the longest time were just mediocre, and they had one guy, and then they would probably trade him to get through it.
Maybe. But a team like the Red Sox, it shouldn't happen.
The problem is Bledsoe's not going to trade him until the deadline. He's not going to trade him earlier.
Weiser or Zach Kelly will be our representatives this season. Maybe that would help.
Probably.
You mean for the home run derby competition? They're going to be pitching?
I was thinking that. There's got to be some players out there that really need a good BP pitcher. I'll happily send them their way.
Chaz might hit more than 3 home runs with Bales on the mound for him.
That's too funny, Jim.
Time for comments. Brooklyn Harris says hi. How you doing, Brooklyn? We said hi back. And moving right along. Michael Lubin says they suck. All Boston teams suck. Pretty much. It's pretty much what you're seeing. Haha, Bruins lose, Celtics lose, Red Sox bums, Boston Cryberries, you need to cheat to win. I mean, I guess, but our cheater has been fired, so we'll see how that goes. Betty says, made it, best podcast ever. We thank you. Michael says, again, you need to cheat. Okay, that sounds cool.
Michael
Betty's
keeps that up. He's going to get the ban.
Yeah, I know. Roman looked like he was scared to throw the ball in hard. He's a little bit better now. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's taken a little bit of a positive step with his throws from the outfield. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's thrown out 4 guys now in the past 10 games or so.
Yeah, definitely has an improvement.
Yeah.
Tracy needs to stop that immediately. Michael says Boston lose all 3 games in Detroit. I have to agree with you on that one. John says, I told you Bennett was starting on Friday. Yeah, he looked really good. I mean, I don't know if he can keep it up. I don't know what the situation is with that. The curse is back. Well, how many more years we got till we get 86 again?
78.
79, something like that. Jonah says, the Red Sox and Mets have a new rivalry. Who will be the worst record? Wonder what that series will look like later this year. I mean, it's got to look like this one. Here you had 2 American League last place teams that had to duke it out all the way till extra innings because they both were that bad. And yet the Red Sox are still not the worst record in the American League. That is the Angels right now. It'll be like the Red Sox and Astros. Neither team really wanted to win, kept trying their hand with the other team. That's what I kind of just said. So I took your thunder a little bit. Jake Bennett gives Sox fans a reason to watch. I guess. I know until he has his first major mess up. Then it's not going to be.
No. It's one start. It's relax.
Yeah.
This is part of our problem. We'll get all hot and bothered over these one outing things. Yeah. Relax.
Yeah. Bennett did great, but second start may tell more high hopes for the kid. Yeah, exactly. You got to see more, and we'll see how it plays out. Groovy Winnie says, "I say option 1." Not sure which one that was about.
I think that was about the wins, the poll.
I think that was 60.
Yeah. Yeah, that was where was that? That was here. I'll just show that again there. How many wins will this team end up with? So we had that. Let's see. I think I kind of went. Yep. And Betty said one as well. So we responded. I think I was there. Nick said, "So true, Jonah. The 10th inning was incredible. I don't know what play was more difficult to swallow. Kelly throwing the ball backwards, or Brady's freezing on the ground ball with the bases loaded. 6-2-5 double play. Can't say I've ever seen that in 40 years of watching baseball. Zach Kelly, he amazes me with how dysfunctional he is. I guess that's the word for it. Unbelievable. Let's see. Michael again. They're a bunch of babies. I'm 65. I could play better than them. The Red Sox might need you. So, you may want to give them a call because Randy Velarde did an unassisted triple play. I do remember that name. Let's see.
Jim, I just show that picture that I made with AI with Zach Kelly with the cats.
Oh, yeah. All right, sure.
I just texted it to you if you can put it in. I
I
thought that came out pretty good. That's what he feels like to me. He gets all these chances. Look at that.
Cat with 9 lives. Yeah.
He just don't die.
Yeah, he does.
Him and Weissert. They got voodoo
they have
magic over somebody.
And yet you got a new manager, and it's still the same dog and pony show.
The guy has nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. Michael says, "Let me pitch for them. I was a good pitcher when I was younger." Like I said, give them a call. I mean, at this point, what do we got to lose, right? I mean, it's getting stupid with the way that they are. This team is going. Moving again, just better than you says, "Who even watched? Thank Christ, I'm in New Zealand. Game finished by time I had to go to work. Sell the team." I don't know if you saw that flyover for selling the team and getting rid of Craig Breslow, but we're with you on that one. Betty again. Wish I had your memory. I don't know which she was mentioning exactly, but I think it might have been Velarde. Could have been. Jonah says all of the unassisted triple plays have been exactly the same. Second baseman catches, line drive, tags runner, touch second. He also says I only remember Velarde. It's a Wikipedia page for unassisted triple plays. Did John Valentin have an unassisted triple play?
Yes.
Yes, I thought he did, right?
Yes, he did.
And then Gaetti had 2 against us, right?
Well, they weren't unassisted. It was the same game. It was a 5-4-3 around the horn double play.
Okay. Triple, right? Triple.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
John
Gaetti touched third to second. Then no one.
Yeah.
First.
Gaetti started 2 of them in that one game against the Twins. Yeah. I remember that. Red Sox had one 1923 by George Burns. No, not that George Burns. Gotcha. Say goodnight, Gracie. Red Sox had to play a 5:31 clip to finish at 81-81. Wow. There you go. That's some news right there. I mean, Jesus. 5:31 just
snap your fingers and it's coming.
Yeah.
Nick, what'd you say? 2012, they had about the same record as this right now?
No. 2012 was 11-13.
Right
now
11-13 on May 3rd or
on May 3rd. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then they finished May. They were 26-25.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say the 22 team was 13-21, and then they went 29-10 over their next 39, and that team ended up with 78. So they're gonna finish somewhere between 65 and 78 wins.
Those teams actually had more talent than this squad.
Yeah.
Betty says they can't hit good or even decent pitching. Last time I said that in the chat, the podcast host yelled at me. We're not going to yell at you, Betty. Jonas says, want to feel better. Devers absolutely sucks as a Giant this year. 128 at bats, 47 strikeouts, 547 on base percentage or OPS. Here's the thing. Devers has nothing around him. Nothing. So he is trying to make something happen. It's not working. I don't know if you can blame Devers for just having a shitty year. I mean, it's not good, let's be honest, but there's nothing there. He's trying too hard, I think. Just an opinion.
Devers had a swing built for Fenway Park. And
that's what I was about to say.
Does not translate well at whatever that field is in San Francisco. Yeah. What is it? Oracle Park?
Oracle. Yeah. The ball doesn't carry there. Like,
he's not. The Giants are going to have to trade him if they can. He's not going to be. He's not going to last as a Giant.
They just called up Eldridge a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Betty says, I live in the Bay and they want him gone, but they're fickle. If he hit a home run, which he recently hasn't, they think he's Barry Bonds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for Devers a little bit, just because he's got nothing around him. They didn't build anything around him. Story's line is almost exactly the same. Story sucks, okay? For all the people that are on Twitter that are like, yeah, he started off and then in May last year, and look what he did. The Red Sox don't make the playoffs. If any moron really thinks that Trevor Story is going to take this team and lead it to a playoff run, you are the biggest delusional goofball in the world.
We got a few of them.
Yeah, I'm a member of NorCal Sports Chat Group. Yeah, we have a couple of people there from Northern California that follow us. Story is the whiff king. What do you call him, Nick?
I call him the whiff queen, Princess Trevi. Princess Trevi was all upset yesterday with Sedane. You know that he marched right into Breslow's office and wanted to sit down. You know that, right? I demand a meeting. Put some respect on my name.
Jonas says Story's a clubhouse leader. I don't think he's a leader. Mm-hmm. I think Trevor Story cares about Trevor Story. That's what it's all about. I found it interesting that he didn't play again today. Anybody else?
Well, listen, the 2 times since Cora's been fired that he's had viral comments to the media, hasn't played the next day.
Yeah, isn't that kind of funny?
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. I think Trevor Story is a hothead, and I don't think he's somebody that you want to build a team around. But he says he had a testy conversation with a reporter in the Bay. It was really bad.
He said something about, what was it? That he's not worried about his performance, or that's not right, but it's something sort of along those lines where people kind of took it as him being snarky and, not taking things seriously, which they don't know who Devers doesn't like talking to the media, or I think it was something along the lines of he doesn't have to talk to the media, which we know damn well he doesn't like to do in the first place. I just don't think that they understand who the type of guy he is yet there.
Jonas says the Red Sox are 17th in the MLB in WHIP. Well, when you got Brian Bale that's putting 2.5 runners on an inning, there's not freaking much that you have to be, there's nothing to be happy about with that. Scooble is 3-2 despite a .95 WHIP. That should tell you everything about the Tigers offense. Yeah, I mean, look, they're not the greatest either, but the Red Sox aren't going to do anything against him. So, I mean, my opinion. Let's see. Jonas says Tigers, one-dimensional home run offense. They're still better than us. We'll see.
You said the word home run when talking about their offense. They're better than us.
Yeah. Wilson Contreras, he's not the Red Sox future. He's 33. No, he'll be traded. He'll be traded. They could probably get something decent for him.
Contract. Somebody will take.
Yeah,
him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Groovy Weenie says Crochet might end up being Boston's most important All-Star, not just their best one. I don't know. I don't know if you're
not this year.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be the All-Star representative. So, Red Sox diehard says this team is sad and pathetic. You got that right. They'll be sellers at the deadline. You got that right too. That's for sure. Let's see. John Lester was traded after the 2014 All-Star game to the A's. Not sure he was the lone rep. He was. I don't remember. That could have been good one, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and 14.
I really can't see this team turning around. This offense is the worst I've ever seen. Worst in my lifetime, Thayer's lifetime, and probably your guys' lifetime as well. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're only going to win about 60 games. That's about it. Maybe 70 if they're lucky. Something turns. But meanwhile, the damn Yankees can't lose. I mean, it's over. So, hats off to them, I guess. There were only 2 reps that year, Lester and Koji. Okay. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Betty says, I don't trust Breslow to make a good trade for Chappie. I love him, and they pray that they keep him because there's no one else I trust. The problem is he's on an expiring contract, and I think they're going to look to move on from him,
Yeah, what is it? Is it a mutual or is it a club option after this year?
That's a good question. I have to look that up.
There's some option on it after this year, but it doesn't matter.
Zach Kelly will be our new closer.
Yeah, I think Peyton Tolley should be the closer. I don't think he's got enough to be a starter. I really don't.
The question really
like
is,
that move.
what do the Red
actually.
Sox think of Breslow? If they think he sticks around, then he's going to trade these guys.
Right.
If not, then this guy is. If he's afraid for his job, he is not going to do anything to make this team worse.
Absolutely.
Well, see, that's a big point that you bring up.
Breslow's going to be gone.
Because if Breslow,
Maybe I don't know.
if
I'd
Breslow
love
is
to say yes, but
if Breslow is going to be gone, then why should he have the keys to the deadline? He shouldn't.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be telling once we get to that point. If, like Thayer just said it, if the Red Sox sell, I think that Breslow has a job moving forward. But if this team, you know, they're 8 to 12 games below 500 when we get to that point, and he tries to buy, I think like that's got to be because his ass is on the line and he has to get this team to win.
Right. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight's episode. I'd like to thank Nick, John, and Thayer for being on. The last thing that we would show is that we have the Red Sox star of the game. Just to let you know that every time that we do have a show, you'll see this graphic somewhere on my Twitter handle or the guys as well. And if you do, just go ahead and comment below who the star of the game is, and you get a point if you're right. And then whoever has the most points by the end of the season in October, you'll win a $100 MLB Shop gift card. John, I'll give it to you. Who was your star of the game?
It's got to be Cam Smith. He had the big hit off Zach Kelly in the 10th that made the difference today.
So that's your star of the game for today. Also, go ahead and go to our website at redsoxdigest.com. Subscribe to our digital newsletter. It's an article that I've pretty much written just about every night, but for the game afterwards. But I'm going to get some help, I understand. So the rest of the team's going to help out with writing our daily rant and sarcastic article of the day. So it'll be great to watch and see. We'll try to expand that a little bit more. We're trying to get a little bit more with the 86 team too. Thayer's been trying to do that. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely go ahead and subscribe. It's free. You can also donate to the cause as well. But that's going to do it. Any last minute things, any other things on Twitter that anybody saw that should breaking news, anything at all?
no, nothing.
No.
I don't
All
know.
right, that's it. We will see you later this week. We'll let you know if it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, but have a great night, everybody.